the opposition in Trinidad and Tobago to make another attempt to get the 2015 election results thrown out. And in sport, Cricket West Indies finances said to be in a worse state than expected. I'm Ricardo Robertson. This is Caribbean in 10 for Monday, April 29th, 2019. I'll be back with the details after the break.
Jamaican recording artist Conscience is now the only Jamaican artist outside of Sean Paul and the Marleys to attain more than 160 million views for a music video on YouTube. The feat is attributed to his 2016 hit single, Broke Off Your Back, which he describes as his most successful record to date. Conscience told Jamaican media, "I have different songs that are huge in different markets."
Trinidad and Tobago's main opposition, United National Congress, is renewing efforts to reverse the 2015 general election results. It's moving to get the courts to set aside the judgment of the Court of Appeal on the matter. Now, opposition leader Kamala Persad-Bissessar told the UNC's 30th anniversary celebrations yesterday that the court hearing is scheduled for June 5th. We get more in this report from TTT News.
Leader Kamala Persad-Bissessar said the party filed the application because of biasness and unfairness.
On the 2015 election petitions, they have filed an application to set aside the judgment of the Court of Appeal in the election petitions on the ground of bias and unfairness. The application urges the court to reopen proceedings and be the final arbiter of the electoral petitions. These are most important for our democracy. So,
after the UN election, it wanted fresh elections in 5 marginal constituencies: Tunapuna, St. Joseph, San Fernando West, Moruga Tableland, and Turco Sangre Grande. The party claimed the Election and Boundaries Commission overreached its authority by extending the voting time for the election by 1 hour. The Court of Appeal upheld the High Court ruling, which dismissed the UNC's petition.
Antigua and Barbuda's Prime Minister is charging that there is petty jealousy from some Caribbean territories in efforts to prevent the twin island nation from becoming the 4th campus territory of the University of the West Indies. Speaking on a local radio program, Brown says the resistance is coming from the other UE campus countries and the process has not been easy. But he says come September 2019, Antigua will be opening the doors of a university, even if it is not the UE.
The Technical Committee of the university approved our university plan. Unfortunately, you have some politics that is taking root now with some of the campus countries, if I may call them that, expressing concerns. They have all kind of fears. They have all kind of innuendos and subterfuge that they're now bringing to the fore. All I want to say to them, they can jump high, jump low. We're opening up the door of our university come September of this year.
Now, earlier this month, the UE Vice-Chancellor, Sir Hilary Beckles, held talks with the government regarding the opening of the 4th landed campus of the regional tertiary institution. The existing UE campus territories are Jamaica, Barbados, and Trinidad and Tobago. Prime Minister Brown says his government is prepared to use another brand outside of the UE to establish a university if need be.
We have decided to go with UE because, you know, we are integrationists at heart, and we will expect the full cooperation, just as our Barbados, Trinidad and Tobago and Jamaica, they have campuses to educate their people. And this is an initiative from which Antigua and Barbuda shall not relent. They can have the concerns, that's fine, but at the end of the day, we have a campus that will be adequately funded by a tax. There's no other UE campus that has that dedicated source of income. Those who have their little petty jealousies, they better put them aside.
In other news now, Cayman Islands Premier Alden McLaughlin has warned UK politicians against intervening in the territory's domestic matters. He was in London last week to further constitution reform talks with the UK government, and he described those talks as cordial and useful. But in a statement about his trip, Premier McLaughlin also said he tackled the issue of UK intervention. He said that he gave note of warning of the consequences of a UK Parliament 4,500 miles from the Cayman Islands interfering in local matters, particularly in circumstances where they have no real understanding of local people and local affairs. The Premier also warned that should unwarranted intervention continue, it would only drive a wedge between the British Overseas Territories and the UK, which would not serve in anyone's interest. And stay with us, your Midday Sport is next. The financial situation of Cricket West Indies is much worse than previously thought, so says newly elected President Ricky Skerritt. Skerritt, who took over the post after defeating Dave Cameron in elections on March 24th, has revealed that due to a lack of resources, CWI has not been able to honor all of its financial obligations. But he said the organization is moving swiftly to address the problem. Skerritt disclosed that CWI is facing a significant shortfall in working capital and it has not been up to date with most of its obligations to creditors. He says it's continuing to raise funds where possible and anticipates that in the next couple of months, CWI could be in a much better position. When asked if consideration was being given to having a forensic audit of the handling of finances by the previous administration, the president would only say that a financial review was being undertaken. And Valtteri Bottas captured the Azerbaijan Grand Prix and Lewis Hamilton placed second as Mercedes set an all-time record of 4 consecutive 1-2s at the start of a season. Sebastian Vettel finished third and teammate Charles Leclerc finished fifth, but for the fourth race in a row, Ferrari was unable to challenge Mercedes. Hamilton, the reigning world champion, closed in on Bottas in the final 2 laps, looking for the win, but made an error running wide of the last corner just as the Finn got the DRS overtaking by coming up 2-lap Williams. George Russell and the leader held on. Bottas returned to the lead of the championship, leading Hamilton by the point he gained for the fastest lap in Australia. Vettel is now 35 points behind. The result makes Mercedes the first team ever to start the season in such a dominant fashion and puts the drivers in an enviable position in the championship. That's Caribbean in 10. Join us again at 6:30 for Caribbean Newsline. Until then, good afternoon.